I absolutely dreaded math class in school. I just didn't get it most of the time, and, quite frankly, when I did get it, I hated having to show my work. I couldn't understand why it was necessary. I got the answer right. Now that I'm older, I understand why it matters to show your work. There needs to be proof that the work being done is happening in the right way. For similar reasons, Agile expects you to show your work. Every iteration, or at least as often as makes sense, you should be demonstrating your work to your stakeholders. This is an opportunity to keep them engaged in your project and get feedback on your deliverables as soon as possible. In Agile, there are two kinds of demonstrations, or demos, you'll be doing throughout your project. The most common one is the sprint demo, but there's another one, the product review, or demo, that should be included too. Let's talk about the sprint demo first. In the sprint demo, you're showing your stakeholders the stories that were completed in the sprint. Usually, the product owner sets the stage by sharing the list of stories that were part of the sprint commitment. He'll then identify which stories he accepted as complete and any that weren't accepted. The product owner or the team, whichever you prefer, will demonstrate the working product that came from the accepted stories. Then the stakeholders share their feedback and any requirements they have that weren't demonstrated. Many times, these are stories that already exist further down in the backlog, but sometimes they're new requirements. You'll capture those and add them to the backlog. The other kind of demonstration is the product demonstration. In the product demo, you're showing the stakeholders the collective product as it's being built. This is intended to give the stakeholders an ongoing view to what the final product will look like. This is so important because they'll provide feedback that helps the team deliver precisely what they want. The product demo is usually held after each release, so the evolving product can be viewed and assessed together. These meetings are intended to incrementally adapt the product vision that we began with. This gives our stakeholders and our project team the ability to pivot in response to changing business conditions. The agenda for a product demo doesn't vary much from your sprint demo. Check out a sample in the exercise files. The big difference is that instead of limiting the demo to what you accomplished in the previous sprint, this one is focused on how much of the product you've completed so far. That being the case, I generally host these sessions from a process perspective that shows the overall user experience from start to finish. If we're building an ATM, I would start the product review with the initial ATM login screen and demo all the subsequent steps that have been delivered and accepted. I would also close with a view of the major product features that are coming up next on the roadmap. This step helps the stakeholder see how much we've already done and where we are in the larger context of the product vision. Remember, showing your work is an essential element to Agile practices. They'll serve you and your team well in keeping your stakeholders on the journey with you.